Kia ora, welcome to Central News for Tuesday the 26th of August 2014. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. The streets will turn yellow this Friday to celebrate the Cancer Society's 24th annual Daffodil Day appeal. The Waikato Bay of Plenty Cancer Society is asking the community to again dig deep and support the Cancer Society's largest annual fundraising and awareness appeal. Daffodil Day has become one of New Zealand's most recognisable campaigns and is the main funding source for the Cancer Society. The past few weeks have been awash with Daffodil Day activity, including the pre-sale of over 3,000 bunches of daffodils to businesses in the Waikato, Bay of Plenty and Lakes areas, as well as schools, businesses and clubs registering to hold Daffodil Day fundraising events for the Cancer Society. To donate to Daffodil Day, look out for the volunteer street collectors who will be in and around your town this Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of August. Fashion designer Anna Stretton is one of 5 international designers selected to showcase her collection at this year's London Fashion Week's opening event, Splendours of the Commonwealth 2014. The event will take place at one of London's exclusive hotels, the Mayfair, on Monday the 8th of September, in aid of the Commonwealth Countries League Education Fund, which is a secondary education sponsorship theme for girls. Anna Stretton explains what she will be showcasing.
Well, 6 extremely exciting avant-garde wedding frocks, and I know that we're well known for doing a sort of a well-priced wedding frock, but these ones are not going to be so well-priced given the amount of work and the colour and the drama that's in them. So for me, it's a wonderful opportunity to actually showcase on a global platform some of the skills and abilities that we have and some of the work that we just love to do.
St John is increasing frontline staff numbers by 158 paid staff in 35 locations across New Zealand. This patient-focused move will improve service response times, reduce single crewing levels and improve patient and staff safety. These new operational positions will be funded by St John, the Accident Compensation Corporation and the Ministry of Health. The new roles will address full crewing issues in Christchurch, Dunedin, Hamilton, Palmerston North, Napier, Mount Maunganui, Tauranga, Waimakariri and Pukekohe, with another 37 staff to provide relief cover, including 11 across Auckland, Whangarei, Waihi, Whangamata and Whitianga. Hamilton voters will have the chance to assess candidates standing in Hamilton East and West during a Meet the Candidates evening on September the 9th at St Paul's Methodist Church Centre on London Street. The meeting begins at 7 p.m. and has been organised by the National Council of Women's Hamilton branch. And while one road reopens in Hamilton, another is closing, for a few nights at least. The eastbound lanes of Wairere Drive between River Road and Resolution Drive are now open to traffic, although further reconstruction works could result in short-term closures. And the Ngarawahia section of the Waikato Expressway will be closed again tonight and tomorrow night to allow contractors to carry out final planned works on the 142-metre-long Waikato River Bridge named Te Rehu o Waikato, meaning shimmering mist. The section will be closed from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m, but will be open outside these hours. Taking a look at the marine forecast now. Raglan, a southwest swell of 2 metres easing, becoming a variable of 10 knots, high tide 7 minutes past 11 tomorrow. Bay of Plenty, southeast of 15 knots with a slight sea and a variable of 10 knots, high tide 16 minutes past 8 tomorrow. Still to come on Central News, we find out about a local mixed martial arts fighter and discover more about the Great New Zealand Food Show. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. There are 19 Fridays left until Christmas, and while Christmas might be far off your mind, our next 2 guests have begun planning already. They're busy organising one of the biggest Christmas events of Tauranga. Hilary found out more.
Craig, could you tell me about this event that you guys hold every year?
Well, 19 years ago we had a vision to put together an event that was going to help our community celebrate Christmas. Given the fact that this area is called Bethlehem, we felt that we were more than obliged to ensure that the birth of Christ was remembered in a way that the public could enter into the spirit of Christmas.
And Michaela, you guys are hoping to expand the event. It's going to be even bigger this year, isn't it?
Yes, well, we did move from the Wairoa River, where we started at 19 years ago, to the Bethlehem Town Centre. We were getting bigger each year. The Bethlehem Town Centre now, unfortunately, in their car park has become too small as well. So we've, alongside Bethlehem Town Centre, we're moving it to Mills Reef Winery, and where we can accommodate a lot more of the community and families that want to be there.
That sounds like a lot of people. How many people have you had in the past?
We've had probably, last year I think we got up to close to 9,000 people. So this year we're hoping to expand it and make it available where there's room for everyone to be able to come in our Bethlehem community.
What kind of numbers are you expecting?
10,000. 10,000. We're hoping that we've become quite well known in our community now, and our families and all sorts of people of different ages and stages actually love coming along with their families, connecting and being a part of the event. So yeah, we're expecting about 10,000 people. We also have a fantastic fireworks display, and because we're going to Mills Reef this year, we're really quite excited about this display this year. We've been talking to a pyrotechnic person, and it should be a lot larger and a lot more amazing to watch. It is a Carols by Candlelight event. We do have a lot of carols that we sing all together as a community, but what we also do in this event is highlight a lot of our local young up-and-coming artists, or some are even older, and there's a varied range of music as well, so it suits all ages and stages again. We have a very large screen so that people, if there's 10,000 people there, they can see it right from the back. There's room to be able to see everything.
Craig, how are you guys going to fund this massive event?
Well, of course, the church puts money in itself, and we also provide the employed labour to ensure that this event is organised, and that takes quite a lot of work. But over the years we've been able to develop partnerships with businesses and individuals within the community who really see that this is a great investment of their sponsorship dollar. And as the event grows, of course, the need for the financial partnership grows as well. And so as we develop this program, we're looking to see others come on board and help us with the financial costs of this.
So is the event mostly run by volunteers?
Well, it's an event that's designed for the community, and so as a volunteer organisation we have an ability to graft people into the event. They can help out in so many different ways, and they just need to get hold of us as the church and let us know how it is that they feel that they can make a contribution. So we'd love to hear from people.
Yes, we've got several hundred volunteers that actually help make this event happen, and a lot of them are skilled, some of them aren't, but we've seen a lot of young people come on board to make this event something very, very special, and out of it they even gain skills and go on to become TV presenters.
Why does the church hold this event every year?
Well, every year Christmas comes around, but of course we acknowledge the fact that Bethlehem is a very unique name for an area, and so we feel this excited obligation really to be a part of something that reflects the birthplace of Christ over Christmas. So we're committed to it.
What is the idea behind it?
Well, it's an opportunity for families in the busyness of Christmas to be able to stop a night before Christmas, spend a couple of hours as a family and reflect upon the reason for the season. And so we don't over-commercialise the event. We're really trying to focus on the original story of Christ being born in Bethlehem in Israel, and that's affected the world, the nations, and as a community we realise that our whole calendar gravitates around the Christian story. And so families get together and they stop and they value and they appreciate that story together.
And if we're not a Christian, what are we going to get out of the event?
Well, it's certainly a big event in the calendar, and we invite community to turn up and be a part of something bigger than themselves. There's a reason why all the shops shut, why the whole of society stops on this day. And for people to come along and just enjoy the singing and the traditions is a really important thing about being a New Zealander, I think.
Still to come on Central News, we speak with the local mixed martial arts fighter, and up next find out about the Great New Zealand Food Show on Central News. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. The Great New Zealand Food Show makes its debut in Hamilton at Mystery Creek on the 6th and 7th of September. Billed as Hamilton's first premier food show, there'll be something for everyone's palate, as well as cooking classes and a combination of food and fashion. I spoke with Michelle Connell from Classic Events, who explained how people can be hands-on at the food show with the Wintec cooking classes.
Well, this is something new, and we're pretty excited about. There's 10 different classes over the 2 days, 5 a day, ranging from a whole lot of things that you can actually learn, limited to 30 in a class, learning from celebrity chefs or well-known local chefs, lots of different dishes. Then you get the opportunity to sit down with that chef and enjoy what you've made and talk about more techniques or questions you may have.
Who will the guest chefs be?
We've got a variety of chefs cooking in that area and a variety of dishes. For instance, Jordan and Nikki Shearer from MasterChef New Zealand. They were contestants and they won one of the challenges with this particular risotto dish. So they're teaching that risotto dish there. There's Vanessa Hudson, who's teaching 2 different classes with gluten-free pasta. Tanisha and Verena, who are also MasterChef contestants, are also on both days. And Eugene Hamilton, he used to be head chef at Euro. He's also teaching there as well.
Where will the classes be held?
There's a designated area within the pavilion itself. And this is with the support of Wintec, and the Wintec students will be there, and Wintec provide all the equipment. So there's an enclosed area where people can go and learn. As I said, limited to 30 to a class, so we do encourage booking online for those because they are filling up. And then another area beside where you can enjoy the food.
There's a special evening on Saturday night of food, fun and fashion. Tell me about this.
It is. That's with Annabelle White, who is hilarious. So she's going to be having quips and tips from really how to hold a fantastic dinner party right through to a whole lot of foodie queries, and combining that with Anna Stretton's new charity, which is our charity for the event, Raw. And that is going to be, her staff will be there giving ideas of styling and what not to wear. So that's just an extra $20. You get a beautiful goodie bag, a complimentary drink and nibbles on arrival, and as Annabelle said, a guaranteed fun time.
Setting the table for dinner can be quite stressful if you're not very creative, but you found a solution for this. Tell me about it.
We thought that went hand in hand, fabulous food with a fabulous dining table. So there's 5 different designers or retailers from the region who are each going to create a wow factor dining table. The public can come along. There's a People's Choice Award and they can vote, and the winner will receive $500 worth of vouchers from each of those stores to spend. So I'm really looking forward to that part.
The Great New Zealand Food Show's at Mystery Creek on the 6th and 7th of September. For more details on the cooking classes, go to greatnewzealandfoodshow.co.nz. Our very own Jet Sprints took out the emerging event of the year at the New Zealand Association of Event Professionals Event Awards. And as Hilary found out, they were up against some pretty tough competition.
Pip, tell me about the award you guys won.
The award was the Emerging Event of the Year Award, which is the New Zealand Event Association awards that are held annually. They have a number of awards across different categories, and the Jet Sprints was nominated as a finalist and then took out the top prize in the Emerging Event Award.
Irvin, who were you guys up against? There were some pretty big names there.
Well, we did in the end, yes. I mean, I've got to say that while we were there and very hopeful, we knew we were up against some stiff competition. Probably the most significant event that was in our category, which was for events that had been run for the first time, was the Auckland Nines Rugby League event, which was huge and very successful as well. So really the judges looked behind, I think, just the first impressions and looked for innovation and novelty and people looking to do something that is outside the square and that had good potential for the future. So we were delighted to be able to come in ahead of that field.
Head judge Martin Snedden said that the event showed innovation. Where did you come up with the idea to dig up a stadium and race jet boats in it?
Well, I don't think that we can totally take credit for that one. The New Zealand Jet Sprint Association has been tossing around the idea for a number of years, and I guess really what this event was the actual execution of that idea that has been thrown around within their executive for a number of years. So it was really around us delivering on undertaking the feasibility to see if it could be done, how it could be done, and then executing and delivering the event.
So a lot of it was around safety?
Yes, a huge amount of it was health and safety, absolutely a critical part, but a lot of it was really just around the event logistics as well. So, the porousness of the soil, the water flow availability, and all those other elements that actually were required to pull off this event inside a landlocked stadium.
What do you think made the event so successful?
Well, I think the fact, firstly, that it was new did attract a lot of excitement. The fact that the New Zealand Jet Boat Association were so enthusiastic about it and were willing to go to almost any length to make it successful, and it generated huge interest amongst that fraternity just to participate. I think the marketing of it, which was led in the main by Pip and also to a certain extent by Ingrid Fleming from our staff, developed a momentum that was almost irreversible, and so the enthusiasm through the various marketing channels and the coverage and just people in general and the media getting excited about what on the earth is happening here created a huge sort of snowballing effect of interest. And so the lead up to the event went really well, and then of course on the day, the excitement, the family entertainment spectacle, the fact that people came down here and just seemed to enjoy themselves was sort of endemic amongst the group, and it just went from one to another. So I've never seen the crowd here enjoy themselves so much. And then the spectacle itself was fun. It was people didn't take their eyes off it because they thought there might be a thrill and spill over here or something might happen over here. So a whole lot of factors really came together nicely. And I think that's what people remember.
Up next, we catch up with Luke Jameau, Hamilton mixed martial arts fighter. That's next on Central News. Kia ora, welcome back to Central News. Mixed martial arts is a relatively new sport that's fast gaining momentum in New Zealand. Amanda caught up with Luke Jameau to talk about his career as an MMA fighter.
Luke, what is MMA?
Well, MMA is mixed martial arts. Full contact fighting sport, yeah. Involves all the aspects of fighting, all stand up, ground, wrestling. It just puts it all together and it's different,
Yeah, so how did it start? Like, where did it begin?
The UFC, originally they held an event and it was, gave fighters from all different martial art backgrounds a chance to prove themselves and fight against each other. So there was like a boxer versus a wrestler versus a jiu-jitsu guy, and then it just evolved from there. And now if you don't know it all, then you're at a disadvantage,
Yeah, and what inspired you to get involved?
I don't know, I've sort of always been around the martial arts scene in my life. My mother was, she used to do martial arts and my stepfather and that. And so I was always involved in martial arts, and it was pretty much when I saw MMA, I was kind of I knew, that's what I wanted to do, and that was fitting for me.
Yeah, because it's a relatively new sport, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, especially in New Zealand anyway, but...
It's picking up?
Yeah, it's picking up for sure.
Yeah, excellent. So how much training actually goes into MMA? Because I'm looking at you and you're pretty buff, so you must work out quite a lot. Yeah,
it's real grueling. The training's grueling. I mean, because it's an individual sport, you're going against another person, so there's no rest, no break. It's pretty physical, and there's so much you need to know and need to work against that. You're constantly training,
Yeah, and what about your eating habits as well?
Yeah, diet's very important, especially leading up to a fight. Your diet is got to be on point because we fight in weight classes, so you got to make sure you make your weight. And a lot of the times I fight at 77, but I walk around about 87, so I drop 10 kilos coming up to the fight, and most of it's water weight, but so everything's got to be on point, and you got to hydrate and still fight strong,
Yeah, sounds intense. So how do you balance MMA, training and fighting, with work and with family?
Well, at the moment, that's what I'm doing as work, It's my full-time profession at the moment, so it's a bit easier. Before, when I was working full-time and training, it was hard, you know, but now things are starting to look up, and training full-time is a lot easier. But it's hard on the family side because I'm away, and, you know.
So you got a little daughter, don't you?
Yeah, I got a daughter, yeah.
How old is she?
1.5.
1.5. That's really cute. Okay, so what advice would you offer any youngsters wanting to give it a go? Where would they start? Local
I reckon
boxing?
wrestling, the wrestling is one of the best bases you can start in MMA. It gives you strength, agility. It's like an all-round athletic. It makes you athletic, you know. And it's the middle decider in MMA. You want to stand, you want to take it to the ground, you decide, you know.
To find out more about Luke or follow his career, go to facebook.com/Luke Jameau MMA. Time to take a look at the weather now. Firstly, Hamilton, fine after the fog clears with a high of 15 degrees and a low of 2. Around the region, Paro a high of 14 with a low of 4. Matamata 12, your high and a low of 3. Te Awamutu in for a warm 15 degrees and a low of 2. And Tokoroa a sunny 13 degrees with a low of -1 overnight. The Bay gets a stunning day. Tauranga fine with light winds and a high of 15 degrees with a low of 5. And taking a look around the Bay, Te Puke expect a sunny 13 degrees and a low of 4. And that's Central News for today, Tuesday the 26th of August 2014. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you join our community on the Facebook page and let us know of news or events. I'm Anne-Marie Case-Miller. Ka kite anō.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.